insights to share. They'll guide you with their expert flair. Stories flow, insights unfold. Stay ahead, drive bold and cold. Mohawk secrets shared with care. Hit the road with confidence to spare. Mohawk Table Talk, come join the ride. The podcast that's got you auto supplied. From deals to trends and buying advice, we'll make car shopping extra nice. Mohawk Table Talk, come join the ride. The podcast that's got you auto supplied. From deals to trends and buying advice, we'll make car shopping extra nice.
Tune in Tuesdays, don't be late. Nate and Mike got info great. Local auto news you need to hear. Ready to shift your knowledge gear. They're the pros from the dealer's floor, with tips and tricks and so much more. Be the buyer that's wise and smart. Rolling in style, you're off to a start. Mohawk Table Talk, come join the ride. The podcast that's got you auto supplied. From deals to trends and buying advice, we'll make car shopping extra nice. Got a question, ask away.
Check
Nate
1,
and
2,
Mike got
3,
things to
4,
say. Guests drop in
5, 6,
with
7, 8.
insights to share. They'll guide you with their expert flair. Stories flow, insights unfold. Stay ahead, drive bold and cold. Mohawk secrets shared with care. Hit the road with confidence to spare. Mohawk Table Talk, come join the ride. The podcast that's got you auto supplied. From deals to trends and buying advice, we'll make car shopping extra nice. Stories flow, insights unfold. Stay ahead, drive bold and cold. Mohawk secrets shared with care. Hit the road with confidence to spare. Mohawk Table Talk, come join the ride. The podcast that's got you auto supplied. From deals to trends and buying advice, we'll make car shopping extra nice.
So bad. Tune in Tuesdays, don't be late. Nate and Mike got info great. Local auto news you need to hear. Ready to shift your knowledge gear. They're the pros from the dealer's floor, with tips and tricks and so much more. Be the buyer that's wise and smart. Rolling in style, you're off to a start. Mohawk Table Talk, come join the ride. The podcast that's got you auto supplied. From deals to trends and buying advice, we'll make car shopping extra nice. Got a question, ask away. Nate and Mike got things to say. Guests drop in with insights to share. They'll guide you with their expert flair. Stories flow, insights unfold. Stay ahead, drive bold and cold. Mohawk secrets shared with care. Hit the road with confidence to spare. Mohawk Table Talk, come join the ride. The podcast that's got you auto supplied. From deals to trends and buying advice, we'll make our shopping extra nice.
Calling Kirk Austin.
Push on every day. Mohawk Table Talk, come join the ride. The podcast that's got you auto supplied. From deals to trends and buying advice, we'll make our shopping extra nice. We are so glad you're here. Tune in Tuesdays, don't be late. Nate and Mike got info great. Local auto news you need to hear. Ready to shift your knowledge gear. The pros from the dealer's floor with tips and tricks and so much more. Be the buyer that's wise and smart. Rolling in style, you're off to a start. Mohawk Table Talk, come join the ride. The podcast that's got you auto supply. From deals to trends and buying advice, we'll make our shopping extra nice. Got a question? Ask away. Nate and Mike got things to say. Guests drop in with insights to share. They'll guide you with their expert flair. Story flow, insights unfold. Stay ahead, drive bold and cold. Mohawk secrets shared with care. Hit the road with confidence to spare. Mohawk Table Talk, come join the ride. The podcast that's got you auto supply. From deals to trends and buying advice, we'll make our shopping extra nice. Stories flow, insights unfold. Stay ahead, drive bold and cold. Mohawk secrets shared with care. Hit the road with confidence to spare. Mohawk Table Talk, come join the ride. The podcast that's got you auto supply. From deals to trends and buying advice, we'll make our shopping extra nice. Tune in Tuesdays, don't be late. Nate and Mike got info great. Local auto news you need to hear. Ready to shift your knowledge gear. They're the pros from the dealer's floor, with tips and tricks and so much more. Be the buyer that's wise and smart. Rolling in style, you're off to a start. Mohawk Table Talk, come join the ride. The podcast that's got you auto supplied. From deals to trends and buying advice, we'll make car shopping extra nice. Got a question? Ask away. Nate and Mike got things to say. Guests drop in with insights to share. They'll guide you with their expert flair. Stories flow, insights unfold. Stay ahead, drive bold and cold. Mohawk secrets shared with care. Hit the road with confidence to spare. Mohawk Table Talk, come join the ride. The podcast that's got you auto supplied. From deals to trends and buying advice, we'll make car shopping things to say. Guests drop in with insights to share. They'll guide you with their expert flair. Stories flow, insights unfold. Stay ahead, drive bold and cold. Mohawk secrets shared with care. Hit the road with confidence to spare. Mohawk Table Talk, come join the ride. The podcast that's got you auto supplied. From deals to trends and buying advice, we'll make car shopping extra nice. Mohawk Table Talk, come join the ride. The podcast that's got you auto supplied. From deals to trends and buying advice, we'll make car shopping extra nice. Table Talk, come join. Come join the ride. Podcast that's got you auto supply.
And we're back with another episode live in the studio.
Back in the studio.
Back in the studios. Last week, for if you're just hopping on, don't know, we were actually out on the golf course of Edison.
Well, we were next to the golf course.
Next to the
Well,
golf
It was close enough. We were outside and it was beautiful.
In a golf
And
cart.
We're back in the studio.
We're back in the studio, and it is a nice day today, though.
That's true. That's true.
So we'll
have to
take
enjoy
that.
it after this.
Yep. Well, welcome everybody to Mohawk Table Talk, where we bring the latest and greatest news from the capital region and national news to see how it affects you as a local car buyer. We want to make sure that you are an educated car buyer because we know the educated car buyer is the best kind of car buyer. So that's what we're doing here each and every week. We bring the news to you so you don't have to sift through it and wonder what is going on.
That's right. And if you caught our very, very attention-grabbing title of this podcast, we have a lot to talk about. And in fact, what are we naming it?
Shockwaves and showrooms.
I love it.
Jinx.
So Shockwaves and Showrooms, we have a bunch to talk about. This is probably more on the national level. A lot of times we talk about local and we talk about things that impact upstate New York, but we kind of want to bring it a little bit full circle. Also, I want to report on some of the market conditions from the last, or I should say, the first 5 months of the year. And now that we're into June and we have some of the reporting, so we're going to talk about that in a few minutes. But we appreciate you joining us. We're also going to talk to you about what is going on locally, because Mohawk Auto Group has a lot to participate in. We've participated in a lot. My name is Mike O'Toole. This is Nathaniel Greklick. We are your hosts with the mostest. That's right. So we're at least going to bring you the lowdown. First, we're going to talk about what's going on locally. Then we're going to hit our topic of the day, which is, I know it's been a while, but EVs. EVs are always a topic, and we want to bring you the latest on that. But before we get to that, we're here just to
Mike's running tomorrow at 6 o'clock, 6:50.
6:50.
And 39 seconds. We're doing the Route 50 mile.
We're sponsoring that Route 50 mile.
We sponsored the Route 50 mile, so we get some runners in there, and Mike is a great runner. So I just did the heart walk and run, to which Mike came and ran with me and he was like, hey, you want me to stay with you? I was like, no, that's okay. I don't want to hold you back. I was pushing a child, a 30-pound child along with that. So,
and it was supposed to be a 5K, which is 3.1 miles.
Yep.
And it ended up being more like 4 miles.
Yep, 3.8 miles.
Yeah, well, so we did our best, but it was all for a great cause, and we wanted to support Nate. So we're glad we did that. And also a couple days ago, we did the Charlton. We participated in the
Charlton 5K.
Charlton Heritage 5K. Again, participation was great, but also we wanted to make sure that we got ourselves in there as a sponsor and sponsored and supported our local community. And I'd mention real quick, not to hijack this part, but just to mention that the Route 50 mile, which is tomorrow, which is Thursday the 12th at 6:50 p.m.
6:50 p.m.
The sponsorship that we provided, both with our participation and the dollars that we provided. I'm reading right here from the website. We join the fight against hunger and homelessness right here at home, right locally. So
love it.
That was the main reason. The fitness and the running is kind of secondary or even past that. But we want to make sure. So if you want to join us, besides having some fun and being fit, the community would appreciate your support.
Absolutely.
Hunger and homelessness.
Fight hunger and
And we have
homelessness.
something else going on tomorrow too, right? We have another sponsor.
We got another sponsorship. We have the Muscular Dystrophy Gala at the Glenn Sanders that our friends from Mohawk Chevrolet will be at. And obviously that is a great cause to raise awareness and raise funds for that.
Ooh, Glenn Sanders, that's a nice place.
Which is also a very nice place to have a nice little gala.
And it's right down the road from here.
What can you
Beautiful.
say?
If you haven't been there in a while, check it out. It's as nice as it's ever been. So,
Yep.
And then next week we have a couple things going on.
Next week, this week, it looks like we have the torch run for Special Olympics on Friday in Ballston Spa. And then we have, on the 18th, we have the torch run in Albany, which is a longer run, I believe. It is from Schenectady, the Veterans Park in Schenectady, all the way to the Capitol building, which is... It's a hike.
Yeah, that's a decent run. But it's going to be like, we've mentioned it a few times, but if you haven't listened, literally running with the torch. It's an Olympic torch. It's
an Olympic torch. It gets very heavy. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
After a while.
It doesn't seem like a big deal at first when it's, in the first few minutes, but when you're running with it, running is tough enough, let alone with a torch.
Let know it's like 2 extra pounds, 2, 4. Actually, no, it's probably like 4 to 5 extra pounds.
Well,
That's
luckily, it's a relay, right? So
yeah,
we're handing it off.
Yep. They have like different mile markers. I think it's like the first one is 10 or 5, then 6.
Yep.
Something along those lines. It's almost, I think it's a little bit above a half marathon.
Oh, no kidding. Okay.
So it's a little bit
so
above a half marathon from Schenectady to there.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's a good distance. So we're proud to participate in that. And
we'll be live streaming it.
That's right. So check that out for sure. Live stream. Speaking of, this isn't live stream, but it's to be released in August, right? If I'm not mistaken, we just recorded another episode.
We did. We just finished the recording of episode number 3 for the Plate Change Challenge. And if you're listening, you get a little sneak peek. We did a little bit of trivia.
That's right.
Little fun trivia there.
How'd the team do, by the way, on that trivia?
Teams did very well.
Okay.
And if they are listening, I will say, even though it doesn't matter in the long run because it's going to be the Honda team versus the Chevy team, Honda did it a little bit better.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right.
I'm pretty sure they did a little bit better.
Because we're sitting in the Honda showroom right now.
No, I've seen the scores.
Okay.
I've seen the scores. I have seen them.
So, especially if the Chevy folks are listening, they'll be sure to beef up on their trivia.
Yeah, for next time.
Yeah, if that's going to happen next time. So, so that's awesome. And last but certainly not least, last week, I guess a week ago, we had the Heridan Family Foundation golf tournament. And that was a big deal. And I think Nate was able to get this crazy total that was raised.
Yes.
And we were super proud to.
So we raised just over $50,000.
Wow.
So
That's
thank you
amazing.
to all of our premier sponsors, everybody that bought a foursome and everyone that bought a tee. We really appreciate you and you giving back to the community. We were able to give a van to Living Resources, which is a nonprofit that helps those with intellectual disabilities get around and get into the community and allow them to have some of the small things in life that you and I take for granted. So for everyone who has been a part and all of our community members that come in and buy vehicles from us, you play a part in us being able to give back in so many ways. So thank you so much to everyone who has helped, who has bought a vehicle, and who has volunteered. We really appreciate it.
Absolutely. And it's an annual tradition at this point. So we'll be back next year, and we'll certainly promote that. So if you weren't a part of the golf tournament, which playing golf is fun, my game certainly doesn't back that up. But
let's just say he's a better runner than he is a golfer.
Yeah, for sure. That's why we were on the sidelines last week. Well, at least I was. We were just coming to you on the podcast. But in any case, if you're interested next year, contact us anytime. We'll be sure to put you on the list because that's a big deal. So it seems like every week there's more and more to report on what's going on locally. So we have a bunch going on here in June. Speaking of that, if we don't have anything else on the local front,
time to move on.
Yeah, let's move on. For those of you that have tuned in, especially at the beginning of each month when we do the podcast, you know that what we do at Mohawk Auto Group, at Mohawk Honda and Mohawk Chevrolet, is each of the stores get our entire team together at the beginning of the month, right? And what we want to do is review with the team what's going on both inside the company and outside the company. And I'm going to run down some quick stats from the Honda meeting that we just had a couple days ago, just so whoever's interested. Some people really like to hear these because some of these are some crazy numbers. So I shared with the team that all Honda dealers in the U.S., not just, of course, this area, all Honda dealers in the U.S. sold over 122,000 units in May. Right?
122,000 units.
122,000 units, all in one month. Keeping in mind the annual objective for Honda is just about 1.3 million vehicles delivered in the year of 2025. So 122,000 is right on par with what that is. So that's a whole bunch, and that's 100% of their objective.
Holy smokes!
And thanks to our customers. Besides what the rest of the area did, each of our dealers have objectives, and at the Honda store, Mohawk Honda was able to achieve 113% of our objective, which means thanks to the community, thanks to everybody's involvement, people recognize that, geez, now might be a time to buy a new car, and that certainly resonated quite a bit. I'll just hit you with a couple other stats real quick. These are things that I shared in the meeting, and they're kind of like thought provokers. Whether you're in the market, whether you just bought a car, or you're considering buying a car, let me just give you some stats. This is nationwide, and not just Hondas. It's all vehicles. So the average new car price nowadays, new cars, all of them combined, $48,656. So $48,000 is the average new car price, if you can believe that. Now that includes all passenger vehicles, so light duty trucks and all that kind of stuff too.
Okay.
The average used car price, $25,547. So that's $23,000 less.
Okay.
And that's kind of the signification.
Okay.
Somebody looks at a new car.
I'm okay with that.
$23,000, right?
I can do that.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
That's a good $400 or $500 in a payment, or who knows what. So that's.
I think they say like for every $1,000 is like $20 in the monthly payment, something around there.
Yeah, that's a decent estimate to use. It depends on the term and stuff, but
obviously,
yeah, it's
20 to 25, whatever.
Quite a bit. Also, we have partners in the business that measure some other metrics like average interest rates and other things. I'll share with you what they have based on May statistics, and this is all loans, not just special rates or all credits. Also, the average new car loan, as far as what the annual percentage rate would be on that contract, what it was last month, 9.4%. So 9.4%. If you have a special rate now, you might think that that's high. However, there's certainly folks that have a higher rate than that, and that could reflect actually a decrease in their rate. The average used car rate, 14.16%. So that's quite a bit higher. That's 4.5 points higher. So certainly some differences there, and there's a reason why I'm mentioning these things, because we're going to talk about new versus used in just a couple minutes. So that's pretty cool. And if you've checked the national wire, I'm not bringing you anything new as far as information, but there is a good news that the national unemployment rate has been steady at 4.2%. And the reason that's good is when we see that jump up and down, obviously that affects viability. It affects a lot of things. And obviously we want to have as many people as employed as possible. That's good for everybody.
So it's a good thing.
Yeah. And the last things that I'll share, there are two other things that I follow that I share with the folks just to kind of get an idea of what's going on in the market. The Consumer Sentiment Index that measures, people's sentiment, right? Their feelings about the market and what's going on.
Yep.
That's rated on just on a scale, and it's not a percentage; it's just a number. 52.2. Which that 52.2 represents a significant decrease from where it was last year. But there are a lot of economic factors that can influence how people feel about the market. And then the last stat I'll share with you, which is actually one that has improved, is the Consumer Confidence Index, which is different than sentiment. Confidence is if you're in the market and to buy something, whether it's a car or anything else, how you feel about making that purchase, right? Other factors aside, how you feel about making the purchase. That index is 98.0, which is up 12.3 points over the prior 30-day period. So that's really good. So that kind of brings us to some of our topic that we're going to talk about. But those are some interesting stats. Most people, besides myself, don't follow these every day or every week or every month. But I like to kind of spit them at you really quickly. That way, if any of those were a thought-provoking on, geez, should I buy a car? Should I not buy a car? Should I just service mine? That seems like what we talk about every episode, right?
I mean, I feel like that's on everybody's mind. Should I buy? Should I service? What should I do? And the stats we do every month because everything changes rapidly. I mean, we do it weekly. However, there are things that drastically change, like we were talking about the 6 months, over the 6 month period. So, hey, educated buyer is best buyer.
That's right. That's right. And it's a lot of the info kind of, may not be relevant if you're just kind of holding your phone and going, oh, that's kind of interesting, but what do I care? You might care if you started entering the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle. So if you have any questions, or if I went by that way too quickly and you just have some questions about anything that I mentioned, feel free to chime in if you're watching the live, or if you're watching the replay, feel free to make a comment. And of course, we'll reply to you when we can. So I don't know if you know this, Nate, or not, but a lot of the vehicles and the loans that I was talking about are EVs. Believe that or not. EVs,
yes, there was a very...
EVs are here to stay?
It sounds like it by what I've been hearing, especially with some of the local news of the Colonie board approving a Tesla showroom and service center, which is wild because why would you pick Colonie? Like, I get, okay, it's close to Albany.
Well, it's the capital.
It's closer to, it's close to the capital.
Did anybody forget that Albany's the capital of New York?
I think everyone forget that.
Well,
yeah,
we know that.
We know that. We know that. Yeah, I guess it is farther away from Albany, but I guess not really that far away in all respects. But yeah, so there's just, I think we are, as a community at this moment in time, are starting to actually dive into this electrification of some sort type of vehicle. The more that I keep talking to individuals at this moment in time, they're talking about, oh yeah, my parents are considering a hybrid. My parents are considering this. I'm considering this.
Yep.
And that just goes to show you that even though we like electric, everybody has their own taste. And I believe that I personally love hybrids. And I think a plug-in hybrid is the best. Like, change my mind, you can't. Someone's be like, well, the engine, the tech, the specs. For me as a consumer,
Right. Everybody's different.
when the Honda Clarity came out, I was like, this is perfect. I have 40 miles all electric, plus I have a gas engine. So I have 40 miles per day for my running about, my daily life, right? And then if I have to go farther, I have gas to back it up. And it's like, why would you get rid of that? I thought it was great, but I do think that this switch, I think we might even be able to bring the plug-in hybrids back.
Yeah. Well, especially if we're looking at that plug-in technology. I mean, just my thought from seeing thousands and thousands of trades and everything every year are that, I think people are not sure, or they feel like they need to be on one side or the other.
Yeah.
Like, I have to I stay with my gas. That's the way it's always been, and that's the way I want it, and that's okay. Or the other way, like I want to completely plug in, and I don't want to have any gas. And I think the market is realizing that there's like a happy medium. You can actually do both, right? That plug-in hybrid is literally both.
Is my happy medium.
Yeah, it's literally like right down the middle. So that's neat. Now, one thing that we didn't share in some of the stats about last month, or what's going on with EV sales, and there have been some talks. Again, we don't get too political, but we know that Elon Musk has been in the headlines
very frequently.
Yeah, seems so. Whether he had positive or not so positive interactions with Donald Trump, certainly bring that right to the headlines. And anytime anybody hears that name, they think EVs and they think Tesla, of course. So Tesla continues to be the leader in sales in terms of new vehicle sales for EVs, but they're not the leader by far like they used to be. Because there are so many different manufacturers that make EVs, and I could probably think of 4 or 5 off the top of my head that just really entered the market this year, including Honda. Honda Prologue is just taken off. It was introduced
That's only
last
been
year, but this
okay.
It was 2024 was the first year.
Okay, yeah.
But it wasn't the full year, so 2025 will be the first full year of the Prologue, and they're delivering a lot of vehicles, 10,000 plus per month. It's unbelievable. So that's here to stay. I'll share with this stat really quickly as it relates to just trying to get a scope on what this is. Most of the stats we talk about are nationally in the U.S., just because it's a little bit easier to conceptualize. However, if I go globally, all over the globe, because there is obviously more of an EV market in other countries, it's estimated by the economists that there will be over 20 million electric vehicles sold in 2025. worldwide.
Okay.
Can you even fathom what 20 million EVs? That's crazy.
No. Sure
Considering,
can't.
We talked previously about how many new cars we know are sold in the United States, not globally, and the estimate is about 15.6 million new cars total sold in the U.S. for 2025. That's the estimate, and the economists are estimating there'll be 20 million just EVs sold worldwide.
So how many cars total are we looking at?
That's a lot
globally.
Of
That's
let's look that
like
up.
if someone's only buying someone's only 25 million, but like there's 25 million of what 7.4 billion people in the world. That's small percentage. So how many are actually buying like
just the S&P Global forecasts just shy of 90 million new cars globally.
90 million? That's it?
Well, that seems like a lot to me.
But like think,
as a percentage.
but like as a percentage of 7 billion people, only 90 million?
How come people aren't buying more new cars?
What's going on here? That just means there's more opportunity for us,
That's a lot. But I wanted to share that. I wanted to share that really quickly because some of the stats that I had that I shared with the team. I won't bore you with a ton of them, but this is one thing that jumped out at me. EVs. We know that we sell new EVs at both Mohawk Honda and Mohawk Chevrolet. We have an idea of what they're forecasting globally, probably 1.3 to 1.4 million new EVs sold in the U.S. this year, 2025. That's held pretty steady. In the first quarter, there were 300,000 EVs sold nationwide of all makes and models, so that makes sense. It's going to be at about 1.2 million. However, with all those cars being sold, now there are a whole bunch of used EVs. Used EVs is the topic that's right on the top of our list of things to watch, things to talk about. And let me share this. What we do in the business is we share what we call market day supply in terms of how many cars are available for sale and how quickly would those sell, right? That kind of shows like what the demand is for vehicles.
Right.
And the lower the number as far as market day supply, the more the demand. And for any regular used car, all used cars combined, the market day supply nationally is about 43 days, which means that if with all the used cars were sold that were on display right now, and there were no more added, they'd be gone in 43 days. However, used EVs, the market day supply is only 37 days. So that means used EVs have
Low
more
supply?
of a demand by 5 days than non-EVs. Can you even? I didn't think I'd be sitting here in June of 2025 saying that.
That's crazy.
What do you think the reasons are why people are buying used EVs?
The real reason?
Yeah.
They're tested and already made sure that they're working.
Yes.
I feel like
They're not the first ones in the pool. Is that what they say? The first ones in the pool?
first one's in the pool.
Right.
Yeah, the person tried it. They said it was okay. They might have moved on, but now that vehicle is all set to go.
Yes.
Kind of broke it in.
Yep. And I think from our perspective, we've sold a bunch of pre-owned EVs at both Mohawk Honda and Mohawk Chevrolet. Is when we have somebody interested in at least checking them out.
Yeah.
What that person's able to do is they're able to come and drive all of them. So let's say we had all of them. Let's say we had a pre-owned Prologue, and we had a pre-owned Blazer EV, and we had a pre-owned Toyota and Mitsubishi and Tesla. They could drive them all at the same time. So it's really
that's also nice. Yeah, you figure out which one you like better.
Yeah, because just like any car, everybody's different, right?
Yeah.
Like one car might fit me better, might fit Nate a little bit better. So that might have something to do with
legs.
it. Yeah, that's right. He sits in like the back seat when he doesn't borrow my car, or I have to adjust the seat. It'd be.
So I had an idea. I wanted to see how many vehicles are registered in America.
Okay.
Total. And the population in America. So there are 283.4 million vehicles registered in America.
Wow.
And there's 340 million people in America.
Wait a minute.
We're almost at like a 1-to-1 ratio.
Really?
I mean,
is that adults?
Let's see.
It might be adults, because if you added all the minors and children, then that would be a lot.
In America.
This is a live pod. Did we mention that? This is a live podcast.
This is a live podcast.
We're doing research on the spot.
So, yeah, based on the U.S.
Population.
Census Bureau, it's estimated June 9th of 2025 is 341,900,000. It's almost 342 million people in the U.S.
Okay.
And the amount of vehicles registered is 280. So we're 100 and I'm not good at math. Do the math. 342 million and 280.
60 million.
60 million people away from almost being a 1-to-1 ratio.
Okay. We can work on that.
That's crazy.
Yeah, well, when you think of it, between all the used
I mean, how many
vehicles
people
sold,
have new
vehicles
cars?
sold every month, or rather every year, and yeah, I mean that's probably like 8, 9, 10 years worth of vehicles that are still on the road. That's a lot of cars.
That's a lot of cars.
But as it relates to used EVs, the topic that we wanted to bring up that we were talking about before we jumped on live was, geez, can you believe that used EVs have become so popular?
Yeah.
That the inventory is
We
actually
were talking
selling
about that.
faster? The inventory is selling faster than non-EVs. So who would have thought that? I have a feeling, based on my feedback from folks in the showroom and the people I chat with, that there are a lot of people that are interested in EVs, and maybe, instead of going all the way to a brand new one, that they can be a little pricey depending on what they are, and staying with the gas, a nice in-between, just like Nate was talking about with a plug-in, a nice in-between might be looking at a full battery electric vehicle, but looking at one that's a year or 2 or 3 old. That might be the way to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think, just so we have a couple questions, because I have a feeling there's some folks that if they're listening, they're like, wait a minute, I have some questions about used EVs. What do you think a couple of the questions would be if somebody's shopping for a used EV?
Well, the first one that comes to mind for me is going to be the battery. Do I have to worry about the battery, right? It's like, what if, like this watch I bought 3 years ago is already, it doesn't even last a full day.
Yeah.
Which is like, come on,
Well, Yeah, I guess that's true. It would make sense that somebody would assimilate any other battery-related product, right, that they have, like a watch. But the watch battery is like this big.
True.
Our battery is
About
like
the
as big as
size
this couch.
It's about the size of this couch.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
Lengthwise, not widthwise. Widthwise, about 2 of these couches.
That's right.
We have a replacement battery downstairs, and it comes in like one of those boxes you've seen from Indiana Jones, massive wood box. You got to pry it open with a crowbar. So, and you got to use a forklift to move that bad Larry. So.
Yeah, but I would say this, and the last couple folks that had just wanted to chat about, geez, you think I'm going to have to replace the battery in my EV if I buy an EV? And my answer is, I would consider your likelihood of replacing a full battery in your EV the same likelihood as having to replace an entire engine block in your ICE vehicle, in your internal combustion engine vehicle. So that is very, very uncommon that somebody would have to replace an entire engine in their vehicle. Not that it doesn't happen, but it's very uncommon. 1 in 1,000 or 1 in 10,000. It would be very unusual. So just like anything that you buy, whether it's an appliance for your house or a vehicle or anything like that, any other type of vehicle, there always could be an issue, but there certainly isn't anything that says it's going to be like it's not going to be like your smoke detectors where you have to replace them frequently or they don't work. It's not going to be like that at all. So, but on the other hand, there really isn't any technology at the dealership yet that allows us to scan batteries or provide a ton of info about them. But
Coming soon.
Yeah,
I'm sure there'll be a battery tester style that can show the voltage and the amperage coming through to make sure that the flow is correct and, the drag or, all of that electrical mumbo jumbo. I don't know.
But then the good thing is, depending on what used EV you might consider, and I think a lot of people are considering that 1 or 2 year old EV because that's really when they've been selling. So they're only going to be a couple years old. Is all the EVs, there's a high capacity battery warranty on all EVs. Not just Hondas, not just Chevrolets. Most of them are 8 years. Most of them are either 80,000 or 100,000 miles. So you don't have to worry about getting a vehicle and then in a month or a year or 2, whatever, that you're going to have any problems that wouldn't be covered under warranty. So
that's good.
That's a nice assurance. And if you're considering an EV, whether we have it or you're looking anywhere, we're here as a resource for information. We should have the answers for you. If we don't have them, we'll get them. So feel free to contact us. You can use the chat feature on either of our websites. That's MohawkHonda.com or MohawkChevrolet.com. Or you can stop through You can ask your sales professional, your service professional. We always like to chat about it. We're not the only two who like to talk about EVs here at the store.
It's true.
Everybody likes to
Very
talk
true.
about it. So anyway, we wanted to touch on that as our topic for today because we've had some questions about it, and we see the sales increasing, which is certainly indicated by the day's supply. People are buying them more quickly, those used EVs. So we look forward to seeing how this is going. So slowly but surely, EVs are coming as a big player in the market.
They're going to be a player. There's going to be other ones, I'm sure. That who knows? There's probably going to be a hydrogen at some point. There's going to be a bunch of different style ones. Who knows? Maybe we'll get like one of the nuclear reactors from Iron Man. The infinite power forever.
Go all superhero on this,
superhero cars, flying cars. We're going to have, the electric drones, the personal drones that you can fly right above the cars. They're gonna have their own airspace. So as time progresses, we're gonna have autonomous driving cars. So
and we'll be here,
and we'll be here
to report on exactly how it's going.
It's right, because we know the educated buyer is the best buyer.
That's right. Good. So that's a wrap on our EV discussion. New, used, new, whatever. We'll certainly be back. Talking about it as soon as we can. And we covered a whole bunch that's going on locally.
Yes. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in to Mohawk Table Talk, where every week we bring you the latest news to make you an educated buyer.